Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and joining me today in the classroom, as always, as he always does, is my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Say hello to everybody, Mr. Curtis.
Yes, Professor, I'm here. I'm ready.
I can see you're as excited as you were last week.
Oh yeah, no, I'm here. I'm ready. I've got my presentation ready to present.
Oh well, I mean, it was just an essay. It's not a presentation.
Oh no!
So
I got a long form opera to go along with the video I cast.
No. If you could convert that into an essay format for me, that would be great. And can I say, Mr. Curtis, I love the suit and tie that you're wearing today. You really
Yes.
pulled out all the stops for
It
this
does.
presentation.
The tie goes great over top of my trench coat. It really meshes with the
yeah.
undertones.
That's what's kind of weird is that the whole suit is over top of your trench coat, which is kind of weird.
I don't know how you got it through the legs of because you're wearing slacks right now.
Oh, yeah.
And you kind of you seem to have crammed the trench coat through each leg of the slacks.
Looks good, Mr. Curtis. Looking forward to your presentation on Ninetales today.
Thank you.
Anyways, that other fellow that's talking to us, that is my student, Corbin. So
Hi,
please
everyone.
introduce yourself, Corbin.
Other fellow
Excuse me. Corbin.
What?
I thought it would be nice if we did an icebreaker today. So if you could tell me two truths and a lie about yourself, so we can learn a little bit more about the aspiring Pokemon trainer Corbin.
Okay, I've never had a Pokemon. My dad left when I was little, and I've never had a girlfriend. Oh shit, that's 3 truths. A lie. I've gotten 100 on every class, on every quiz.
Yeah, that's it's weird because that's the thing. That's one of the things that we do definitely know about you. You could have said I'm left-handed. I have 3 extra toes.
Well, I guess I'm just not that interesting, Professor.
That is true. You're not very interesting.
I guess I'm not.
But you know what is interesting, Corbin?
Pineapple on pizza.
I mean, gross, but I suppose interesting
debatable,
that
but
people
okay.
even thought of that in the first place. No, I would say Pokemon. Pokemon are quite interesting.
I would say that too.
And all of the Pokedex entries associated with those Pokemon, which is what we focus on here in these classes. So can either of you guys, I don't know if you can remember. I'm sure, Mr. Curtis remembers, so I'm not going to include him. Corbin, do you remember what Pokemon we're going to be talking about today?
Wasn't Vulpix, that was last time.
That was last time.
Hey,
What was it? What?
Right here.
What?
Right, yeah, that one right there.
He appears to be motioning towards his rear end and then holding
the
up
picture,
9
okay,
fingers.
all right. Delphox.
Kinda.
Oh shit! No, that's not Delphox. That's a Ninetales. Sorry, I never seen one in person. That's a Ninetales. Sorry.
Yes.
Ninetales.
Yes, today we're learning about Ninetales, which is, of course, the evolved form of Vulpix, and it's also known, just like Vulpix was, as the Fox Pokémon.
Of course.
Now, this one has an Alolan variant as well, which is also an Ice type, but it's in addition to being Ice type, it's also a Fairy type.
Wait. That's
yes,
is
Corbin.
it really?
Yes, it's an Ice Fairy type Pokemon.
So it's a face type. Fairy and ice
airy,
combined
airy.
is face.
It's
Fair
airy.
ice. Fair ice. Right?
Are you okay? You okay? Why don't you just say Fice?
Face. I mean, that just sounds kind
I
of.
guess the same as fire, though. Yeah.
Fair ice. Fair ice. That's fair
but
ice.
there isn't a fire ice type Pokemon, right? Unless
Wait,
it's
if
one
we're
of those
talking
weird
about
legendaries.
another Alolan variant, I feel like it's only good that I call.
Don't
Paul.
call him. Don't. It takes way too long.
I have my phone. Should I call him?
No, in fact, you shouldn't even be bringing your phone to class. If you could bring it up to the front of the classroom, please.
I'll put it back in my bag. That's
No.
fine.
I will hold on to it
that's-
until the end of the lesson.
Okay. All right. Fine. Here.
All right. Thank you.
You can have it right
okay.
there.
Oh shit! I dropped it on the floor.
Fuck.
Oh, fell right in a pile of Machoke droppings.
Why is that in the class?
Man, I don't know. Who was supposed to stay after class and clean them yesterday?
I have cleaned up my fair share of Machoke droppings. I don't even
No,
know.
it's okay. This one's fresh. Nobody had a chance to clean it up yet. All right, I'll forgive you. Here, I'll just fish.
Who's letting these guys just shit around the school?
You try to stop them, Corbin. All right, have you seen their muscles?
That's fair. Just let them shit where they want.
They will destroy you. Listen. Normally they're pretty nice and really helpful, but if you try to tell one where it can or cannot poop, I mean, say goodbye to your bones.
So, later.
Yeah, you're gonna turn into bone soup. But anyways, we're learning about Ninetales. So have you guys ever seen a Ninetales?
I already said I haven't. I thought it was a Delphox on Curtis's
Okay.
little picture there that he has on his desk. So
Well, instead of showing you the Kantonian Ninetales, I thought it would be interesting to bring the Alolan variant of Ninetales.
sure.
Oh, thank goodness.
But this isn't going to be 6 though, because six doesn't evolve. Because 6 was a Kantonian, right?
No. Yeah, it was Kantonian. I don't evolve every Pokemon I get, all right? Sometimes, like, I borrow Pokemon from other professors.
That's fair. I mean, I just want to make it sure.
I can't conceivably own every single Pokemon. That's crazy.
I know, we know. All right, well, let's
You
see
can't,
this bad.
who in their right mind would, quote unquote, catch them all? I mean, that's a ludicrous thing to even
That's
suggest.
insanity. Well, I'm not going to see six. What was her name again? That we named her Six Tails.
Six Tails, because
Six
we're
Tails?
very creative.
Oh, I wanted to see Six Tails again. That's fine.
Oh.
Maybe next time. Maybe.
Well,
next week.
maybe if Mr. Curtis brings some jerky over, maybe we'll see her again.
What?
I'm kidding.
Doesn't sound like a bad idea
Tails
to me.
is fine. She's up at the farm. She's doing great. She's loving life.
Good. Good.
Okay, so here is the Alolan version of Ninetales. Now, I have to say, I think the Alolan Ninetales is one of the most beautiful Pokemon there is. Just look at how it's the fur on the top of its head kind of just gracefully blows in the wind that is non-existent. Like, I don't
It's
feel
just
any
floating
wind.
on its own. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
crazy.
I have to
What a
say,
beauty.
they're a lot more chill than their Kantonian counterparts.
Yeah. Solid joke, Mr. Curtis.
Ted,
that was
yeah,
a good one.
you did do air quotes when you said Joe Corbin, but that's fine. Yeah, so what do you notice here about Ninetales? About the Alolan Ninetales? Blue, yes, it is blue. I guess that's part of, the ice that surrounds it.
I guess whatever we talked about last week, we said that Vulpix had ice shards in its fur.
Yes.
That's the same thing. It's got to be the same thing with Ninetales. It's got to have that color because but ice is more like white, not blue. Well, glaciers are blue. So I
it
don't
depends
know.
on what. There's lots of different types of ice, and it really
Depends on the
what
species
kind
of ice, I guess.
Well,
So,
I wouldn't say species, but
breed.
Ice that forms at different temperatures and different pressures all have different kind of, molecular structures. So it's
blah,
not
blah 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 blah. It's
Okay.
pretty. It's a
It
pretty
is.
Pokemon.
It is. We can agree there. It's a gorgeous Pokemon.
Piercing blue eyes, wonderful white little toe beans.
The eyes, something about Ninetales, Alolan and Kantonian, they are all incredibly intelligent. You can see in those eyes that it's just very,
Those-
very clever.
Dark
Yes.
Intelligent
voids.
It's not a void.
Yeah, this one, no, I wouldn't say this is a void. This one has like an iris or a pupil, I guess. So
Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful eyes. Looks like the ocean. Wow.
all right, so let's stop drooling over Ninetales.
Sorry.
And I'll go ahead and put her. I guess, do we want to give this one a name? I mean,
We're
never gonna see her again,
what's the most beautiful thing in the world you could think of?
Data that forms a linear trend on any kind of chart, I think, is my favorite. Is one of the most
Wow.
beautiful things I can. Well, let's call her linear, or linear.
How about
Okay,
Snowball?
I think we've already called a Pokemon Snowball.
How about Icicle?
I like linear better because
What
it
about-
brings to mind linear data, which is beautiful.
Oh, that's boring. You haven't had a date in years, have you, Professor?
I have a date with knowledge, so
Lame.
okay. All right. We'll put that on the back burner. Not literally. Vulpixes cannot handle heat. But we'll put the name on hold for now, and we'll put Alolan Ninetales back into her Pokeball, so we can get started with the lesson in earnest. All right, let's go ahead and start with the Kanto region, and of course, these entries are going to be focusing on the Kantonian. All these first ones are going to be Kantonian. I'll let you know when we're switching over to the Alolan version of Ninetales. All right, so the first one here says
Is this the Alolan one?
No, it's the Kantonian one.
Okay,
I literally said that. You even acknowledged that you understood that I said
right.
that.
Yeah, I heard you. Gotcha.
Okay, all right. Anyways, the first Pokedex in the first entry in the Kanto region says, very smart and very vengeful. Grabbing one of its many tails could result in a 1,000-year curse. Yeah, so that's something. I love Ninetales, specifically Alolan Ninetales, but the Pokedex entries are almost every single one stems from some kind of lore or tradition or ancient story. Like,
that's not science.
There's very little actual confirmable data in any of these entries.
Whatever.
And it gets 1,000-year curse, pretty crazy, but it gets even more wild. I cannot wait.
Well, let's dive in. Let's keep it going. I'm excited.
All right, and just hitting the ground running. This next one says, according to an enduring legend, 9 noble saints were united and reincarnated as this Pokemon.
A saint? What?
A noble saint, like a holy person.
Okay, so now according to this,
nine holy people were fused.
Yeah, so a fusion, if you will.
So you go from Vulpix that can grow its own tails through evolution and love and age, and then Ninetales is just it's got 9 tails because it's a bunch of holy guys combined.
Well, okay, I mean that's
were they reincarnated into a Vulpix first that then had to evolve into a Ninetales?
I mean,
and if that's the case, where were the other 3 saints?
So
were
while
they,
while the Vulpix is evolving, does the evolutionary process or whatever happens, does Arceus select 9 of the holiest people to fuse into that Vulpix and become Ninetales?
You guys are forgetting what I said before. These are all it's an enduring legend. It's just a legend. In fact, most of these legends, it seems like the people in ancient times never really kind of connected the fact that Ninetales comes from Vulpix, and it may be because the last 5 or 6 Pokemon that we've talked about, Ninetales, to get a Vulpix to evolve into a Ninetales, you need either a Firestone to get it to a Kantonian version to evolve, or an Ice Stone to get a Alolan version to. So it might have something to do with the fact that you need a stone, and because of that, the Ninetales were extremely, extremely rare.
Gotcha. Okay, well that makes more sense.
And so seeing one, you're like, holy shit! Is that 9 noble saints all put together into one thing?
Still seems like a stretch. I feel like somebody was sniffing a little bit of shroomish with that.
It's like a folk tale. It's like the stories that you tell your kid to get them to go to bed, right? Better be careful, or 9 noble saints are gonna curse you for 1,000 years.
And you're gonna turn into the most beautiful Pokemon ever. Ooh.
All right. So the next one here says it's extremely vindictive. It is said to lay a 1,000-year-long curse if its tail is pulled as a joke.
Wow.
Don't even play jokes on this one.
Ninetales does not like pranks.
Let me tell you what. Don't get on the bad side of a Vulpix. That's all I have to say.
Or, Ninetale. That's really where it starts to become vindictive. Okay, the next one here says... Okay, that does it for the Kanto region. Moving on to the Johto region. Some legends claim that each of its 9 tails has its own unique type of special mystic power. Okay, just go ahead, throw out some mystic powers you think that these tails might have.
Levitation.
Okay, one of them is levitation. I'm gonna say the other one makes flowers bloom very pretty.
Pyromancy.
Pyromancy, sure, that's how it controls flames.
Ending world hunger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a mystical
but it doesn't ever use that one for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird that it never... I mean, it is a vindictive Pokemon.
That's true, it doesn't want to.
It's kind of an asshole. Okay, that's enough of that thought experiment. You guys did great. The next one says, its 9 beautiful tails are filled with a wondrous energy that could keep it alive for 1,000 years. So, I mean, that's not unheard of. We know that a war turtle can live for like tens of thousands of years.
That's wild.
So yeah, it's not even that old in Pokemon times.
So energy in its
mean,
tails to live 1,000 years. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, wait, what? Wait, what did you say?
You said energy in the tails to live 1,000 years?
The energy in its tail is believed to keep it alive for 1,000 years.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, this next one says, I love the wording in this one. It says, it is said to live 1,000 years, and each of its tails is loaded with supernatural powers. like a loaded potato skin, but with supernatural powers. It's like that sounds like something you'd get at Flapplebee's.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a loaded Ninetale?
Oh wait, no, not that. You know what? Now that I think about it, it sounds awful. Oh god. Although it probably tastes good. If you cut off all the fur.
I don't want to think about eating a Ninetale's tail.
Yeah, that's like a quick way to get 1,000 years of curse.
Yeah, pulling it's one thing, but eating a Ninetale's tail, ooh no.
That's like breaking 1,000 mirrors at the same time. Okay, that does it for the Johto region. Let's go ahead and move on to the Hoenn region.
All right.
Ninetales casts a sinister light from its bright red eyes to gain total control over its foe's mind.
Ooh.
So it is psychic.
No, it's not. It's fire. The Kantonian version is just fire.
What the hell, man?
I
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and this isn't one of those like legend says. No, this is a fact. It's a fact that Ninetales uses its bright red eyes to gain total control over its foe's mind.
That's
fact.
Wild.
The next part says this Pokemon is said to live for 1,000 years, which is, legend. Speaking of legend, the next entry says, legend has it that Ninetales came into being... Oh, God.
Jeez.
Legend has it that Ninetales came into being when 9 wizards possessing sacred powers merged into one.
Okay, so first it was Saints, now it's Wizards. Gotcha.
Now it's Wizards. Well, it's Wizards.
It's a lot to keep up with the story.
It's wizards possessing sacred powers, so it's kind of like a saint, I guess.
Yeah.
It goes on to say this Pokemon is highly intelligent. It can understand human speech.
Well, can't most Pokemon? You tell them to do
I was gonna say that in the Pokemon world, it's not really a indication of intelligence. Considering most Pokemon can understand human speak. How else would we issue like commands to them?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right. But yeah, it's. I mean, if it could talk, now that's a completely different thing. If it could speak human speech. All right. Next one says, it has been long said that each of Ninetales. Wait. Okay, sorry. It has long been said that each of the Ninetales embody an enchanted power. A long-lived Ninetales will have fur that shines like gold.
Aww.
I mean, that's just fact, Mr. Curtis. It's in the Pokedex. It's not up for debate.
I mean, shines like gold. Kind of, more like a kind of mushy yellow color, but that's fine.
Come on.
Mushy yellow.
So negative towards Ninetales. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Next one says, this is from the Sinnoh region. It's very similar. I'm debating whether or not to even read it. It says, its Ninetales are said to be imbued with a mystic power. It can live for 1,000 years.
Right.
I mean, we've pretty much already heard that. That it kind of repeats from there on. Same with the Unova region. Same with the Kalos region. All right, let's talk about the Alola region. Yeah, okay. The first one here says, legend has it that this mystical Pokemon was formed when 9 saints coalesced into one. All right, so we're back to...
So saints and wizards and saints again? Is that what it was?
Yeah. Yes, so noble saints, wizards with sacred powers, or just plain old saints. The key is there was 9 of them.
Okay.
The next one says, said to live for 1,000 years, this Pokemon uses its supernatural abilities to manipulate fire. It can burn its prey to a crisp as it pleases.
Right. Vulpix could do that too, right?
Yeah, pyrokinesis.
Yes.
It is vindictive and relentless by nature. Those who cross it even once will be cursed for 1,000 years along with their descendants. So it goes down your family line.
Damn, that sucks, man.
1,000 years is a long time.
Just for crossing it,
Yeah,
don't pull its tail, don't joke with it, don't even look at it.
Unless it trusts you. If it trusts you, that's like a whole nother thing.
Right.
Okay. The next one says, the flickering flames it spews from its mouth leave its opponents hypnotized. Then this extremely intelligent Pokemon attacks.
So it used to hypnotize with its eyes, now it hypnotizes with its fire?
No. It controls its enemy with its eyes.
Okay.
Hypnotizing something and controlling it are two different things.
Right. Hypnotize just kind of leaves you paralyzed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it kind of like makes you like, duh. Right. We'll learn way more about that when we talk about Hypno, which is a Pokemon that specializes in hypnosis.
No way.
Yeah, I know, mind blown.
You wouldn't believe it, but it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that does it for the Alolan region and also the Galar region. It's the same stuff, so I'm not going to read it. Let's read some unique Pokedex entries. The first one, believe it or not, comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says, Ninetales, the fox Pokemon, is the evolved form of the fire Pokemon Vulpix. Okay, cool.
No kidding.
Yeah,
cool.
No way. The next one says, this again comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. Ninetales, the fox Pokemon, the evolved form of Vulpix. It has 9 tails. What?
Whoa.
No.
And a shining golden fleece.
There it is.
Ninetales are said to live very long lives.
1,000.
Yes, 1,000 long lives.
No years. Sorry.
Again, another one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. I don't know how many Pokedex this kid's had. Ninetales, the fox Pokemon. Ninetales is in fact the evolved form of Vulpix. Each of its tails contains a different mystical power. Like the power to toast perfectly.
Right.
Yeah.
That's important.
That's very, hard to do. I would say that
or grow flowers very pretty.
Yeah, that was one that I said earlier. Yes, Mr. Curtis. Yeah. Okay, another one here from good old Ash's Pokedex. It says, Ninetales, the fox Pokemon, and the evolved form of Vulpix. With its 9 tails and thick golden coat... This is so weird. With its 9 tails and thick golden coat, Ninetales is said to live 1,000 years. So I don't know why this kid, Ash, decided to clock a Vulpix, 4 different times.
Right, and then just report the same data.
Pretty much the exact same data again and again and again. I imagine that he sees a Vulpix once and he's like, oh, what's that? And his Pokedex a Ninetales. And he's like, holy crap, what's that? And it's like, that's a Ninetales. It's evolved from Vulpix, blah, 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 blah. And then he sees it again. He's like, oh my god, what's that? And his Pokedex is like, it's a Ninetales. I've already told you this. It evolves from Vulpix. And then he sees it a 4th time and he's like, oh, what is this wondrous thing? And the Pokedex is like, it's Ninetales! I told you that before.
The fox Pokemon.
It evolves from Vulpix. You idiot. You dumb child.
Wow, okay. All right. He's just a kid. Settle down.
How many tails does it have? 9. Count them.
God. So obvious. Do you think Ash named this Pokemon? No, I'm just kidding. It's been around for longer than him.
I'm gonna call... He looks at this beautiful Pokemon that has 9 tails and golden fur. He's like, I'm gonna call it 4 Paws.
Jeez. I'm gonna call it golden hair.
I'm gonna call it 2 eyes.
Red eyes.
1 mouth. Okay, so that does it for the entries for the Kantonian version of Ninetales. Let's go ahead and shift on over to the tropical Alolan region and read the entries for the Alolan Ninetales. The first one here says, it creates drops of ice in its coat and showers them over its enemies. Anyone who angers it will be frozen stiff in an instant.
So it showers the enemies with ice cubes or ice shards?
Drops of ice.
Okay, well, that's kind of nice.
I guess think of it like hail, like getting smacked in the face with hail.
Gotcha.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. I mean, it says drop, not throw.
That freezes people stiff.
It does say drops of ice.
Drops. What if you done from a nice workout and your Alolan Ninetales just wants to cool you off a bit? See, it's helpful.
Yeah, just don't anger it because it will freeze you solid.
Yes.
Okay, the next one says, possessing a calm demeanor, this Pokemon was revered as a deity incarnate before it was identified as a regional variant of Ninetales.
Step aside, Arceus. A match for Alolan Ninetales.
I mean, this thing comes walking out at me from like a snowy mountain. I'd be like, who is this god? Who is this god that has appeared?
That was my reaction. I was fawning over this thing.
So I understand that.
Yeah.
This next one says, the reason it guides people all the way down to the mountain's base is that it wants them to hurry up and leave.
Is that really what it says?
That's what it says.
I was actually going to say that as like a joke, like it wants them to get the hell out. But oh my god, you were right. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Get out of here. The last one from the Alolan region says, some said that deities visited mountains where Ninetales live, so in times long past, no one was allowed to go into those mountains.
What?
All right.
Like, do you want me to read it again? Is there a specific part?
No, the whole thing confuses me. Read it again.
Okay, so it is said that that deities visited mountains where Ninetales live. All right. Okay. So in times long past, no one was allowed to go into those mountains. So it's kind of like those mountains. If you see like a Ninetales wandering around, it's sacred ground in there. It's where deities go. So you're not allowed to visit. It
seemed like it was more like folklore about these deities and more about a Ninetales, but I guess it's just saying.
True. I mean, true. Right. You're not wrong, but it's in the Pokedex, so I am required by law to read it.
Yes.
All right. The next one here says it lives on mountains, perpetually covered in snow. I think it means the mountains are perpetually covered in snow, not the Ninetales. Mm-hmm. And is revered as a deity incarnate. It appears draped in a blizzard. Wow, that's poetic. That's so beautiful.
Beautiful.
All right, so that does it for the Alolan region. Let's move on to the Galar entries for the Alolan Ninetales. It says, a deity resides in the snowy mountains where this Pokemon lives. Okay, so in Alola, they were like, people used to say that the deities lived in the mountains where Ninetales live, but over in the Galar region, they were like, full stop.
No.
Deities do 100% reside in these snowy mountains.
They're confirming it here first, okay.
Yeah, confirming it in the Galar region.
All right.
In ancient times, it was worshipped as that deity's incarnation.
Okay.
All right. The last one here says, while it will guide travelers who get lost on a snowy mountain down to the mountain's base, it won't forgive anyone who harms nature.
Good. Rightfully so. Like Mr. Curtis, who harms Squirtles and ties up Vulpixes.
I never hurt nature.
You have hurt nature. Where'd the jerky come from last week? Where'd the jerky come from?
I perpetuate the natural course of nature.
You force a food chain that's not there. That's abuse.
And that is that some Pokemon will eat other Pokemon.
Not if you have to force them.
I mean, it's a fact. Pokemon eat other Pokemon.
What do you want me to do? True. Okay, so food chain wise. So if I'm supposed to feed my Pick-a-Peck, or if I'm supposed to feed my Pick-a-Peck a Whale Lord, that's the food chain because I just brought them together? No, that doesn't work. That's not a part of the food chain.
I mean, if your Pick-a-Peck craves Whale Lord, who are you to stand in its way?
Okay, never mind. This point's lost.
Right. All right, so let me go ahead and move on to the unique entries for the Alolan Ninetales. So this one actually doesn't come to us from Ash's Pokedex. I can't believe it.
Wow.
It just comes to us from an unnamed person's Rotom Pokedex. It says, Ninetales Alola form, the Fox Pokemon, an Ice and Fairy type. This peaceful Pokemon is known to rescue people from treacherous mountain accidents. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that does it for all the Pokedex entries for Ninetales. Now, I believe, if I recall correctly, I did give Mr. Curtis an assignment today. So instead of reading this unsourced, uncredited article that I do have, I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Curtis. He's going to provide us an essay that he has written on Ninetales, both Kantonian and Alola. So let's hear it.
Let's hear it, bud.
Right, give me 1 second to prep.
Okay. What are you? What were you drinking?
What is that?
What are you?
Smacking his cheeks now, I guess.
Okay. Now he's.
Okay. I think he's
cawing like a Pidgey.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. I am so happy to be here and present my 9-piece musical opera
Again, I'm sorry.
3-hour documentary on the intricacies of Ninetales.
I'm glad you were so excited, but if you could condense that down to a 2, maybe 3 paragraph maximum essay. If you
We don't have all day.
Don't have all day.
Okay, all right. I guess I can just I can read you the show notes.
Yeah, just give me like the synopsis of her,
The abstract, if you will.
the abstract.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. Silence on the set.
It's not a set. It's a classroom.
There's no
All right.
cameras. There's what? Okay.
Excuse me. All right, ready?
Yes.
Ninetales, the Fox Pokémon. It kind of looks like a Thievul, but with more try-hard energy. It's covered with juicy yellowish fur.
Juicy.
It has a fluffy mane and 9 long tails with darker tips full of magical energy. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, I'm looking at the copy that he gave me, and magical has like 20 A's and like
Nice.
like a bunch of L's in there and M's.
It's 2 beady red eyes and pointy ears. Or it has 2 beady red eyes and pointy ears. It is said to be really smart and understand the people around them, but that's yet to be definitively proven. And it is
Okay.
also said to come from the fusion of 9 hyped up dudes.
Hyped up dudes. Is that what you call
Yeah.
saints?
That was
Right,
the
and
original
wizards,
name for
Saints
this.
and Wizards.
So this Pokemon was originally called 9 Hyped Up Dudes, but we decided to change it to Ninetales.
That's right. They really know how to hold a grudge for like a really long time, especially because they can live over 1,000 years.
Again, unconfirmed. It's unconfirmed that they can live over 1,000 years. It's just we know they live for a long time. It's speculated for over 1,000 years. I'm sorry. Continue on.
Okay, yes, Professor.
I am like marking. I'm marking up the copy that you gave me with red lines and stuff. So.
Uh-oh.
I once accidentally almost fed a Vulpix to one of my Ariadoses, and the Ninetales still will not stop burning down my web garden whenever it comes by.
Ooh.
Its flames and glowing red eyes give it mind control powers. And you can rarely find them in nature due to it needing to evolve by evolution stone.
Okay. Yeah.
In Alola, the Ninetales are blue and much more chill.
Nice pun.
I love that he loved that pun so much. He couldn't wait to say it, so he said it earlier in the lesson.
They're so chill, in fact,
Twice?
that they spit ice. They also got fluffier fur.
Okay.
They're also much nicer and generally really cool to have at parties.
Oh, God.
And they even walk people home.
That's nice.
They can also shoot ice crystals like bullets.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't think it was ever said in the Pokedex, but sure.
And I'm done.
that he does actually. Those lines are in this essay. He ends it with "and I am done."
Nice.
And I am
Nice.
done.
I mean, you have to say that in the essay, but sure. Mr. Curtis, that was a good job. There wasn't all accurate information. We don't know about the bullets, but
And the whole age thing. But I think overall, Mr. Curtis, that was it's a wonderful entry. And in fact, I think from now on, I'm going to include these more often. And in fact, Corbin, if you could,
What?
for next week's lesson, could you provide us an essay on the Pokemon that we're going to learn about?
sure.
Yeah,
I guess I have to.
It's Jigglypuff, by the way, is the one that we're learning about. So,
Puff it
I
up.
guess-
All right.
Now, I'm still gonna ask you what Pokemon is at the end of class. So just
Okay.
just remember.
Hopefully I'll remember.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. So great essay, Mr. Curtis. Let's move on to the pop quiz portion of this lesson.
Pop it up.
Pop
All
it
right,
down.
favorite part.
Pop it up.
So go ahead, get rid of your Rotom or pull out your Rotom laptops, put away your Pokedexes. I don't think you're gonna need a calculator this time, but bring one just in case.
I will need my phone
case.
back, though,
Why? Why would you need your phone back?
to look up the answers I don't know.
No.
Nope.
In fact, I think I should from now on confiscate your phone at the beginning of class, every class.
Whatever.
Okay. So, are you guys both ready? Have all of your accoutrements?
I've been
Yep,
ready
I'm
since
ready.
I was a little boy.
You're still a little boy.
I am.
Let me just. I'm gonna loosen my tie a little bit in here. And...
Yeah, and maybe unbutton your trench coat.
No, unbutton the shirt. The trench coat always stays on, of course.
Yeah. Trench coat stays on, ladies, just so you know.
Just so you know.
Okay, question number 1. What are 2 methods that the Kantonian Ninetales uses to hypnotize or control their enemies? Corbin responded with hypnotizing with flames from its mouth and mind control with its red eyes. And Curtis responded with Ninetales uses the light from its beady red eyes and the flames it spews from its mouth to mess with its opponent's minds. Yes, you guys are both correct. It has bright red eyes for mind control and flickering flames for hypnosis. So, full marks for both of you there. Excellent job. All right, so this one I kind of got a little bit...
Thank you, Professor.
You're welcome, Curtis. I kind of got a little bit, I don't know, extra with this one, a little bit poetic, so if I may. Question number 2. Ninetales are mysterious Pokemon surrounded by deep legends stemming from ancient times. Such mysterious creatures come from equally mysterious beginnings. Give me the 2 mythical beings that are associated with the 2 variants of Ninetales incarnation. Essentially, what are the mythical creatures that, or beings that are associated with the beginning of Ninetales?
Do you want it for each version?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I have both of the answers to the question. That was an extremely long way of saying, where do these 2 variants come from? Corbin responded with wizards and saints for Kantonian Ninetales and deities for Alolan Ninetales. Curtis responded with, Kantonian Ninetales are the fusion of 9 wizards/saints, while Alolan Ninetales are seen as deities incarnate. So yeah, both correct answers, wizards/noble saints from Kanto, and the Alolan people say snowy mountain deity. So you guys are both correct on that one. I'm very happy with your response.
Yes.
Let's move on to question number 3. What does an Alolan Ninetales do if it sees a human on its mountain? Corbin responded with, it brings it to the base of its mountain so the human will leave it alone. And Curtis responded with, they walk those people right down off their mountains like the cool dude bros they are. But really, they just want them to leave quicker. Yes, that's true. We used to think that it was doing a good deed and saving humans from horrible accidents, but when in reality, Alolan Ninetales is a true introvert and is sick of people being all up in its steez.
Just all up in their their
just
bliss.
get out. Leave them alone so we can chill out on the ice caps, eating ice, and making yellow snow.
Curtis, did you say all up in their blizness?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Such a good... thank you.
Very good
listen,
pun.
I worked hard on that pun even though
I know.
Corbin talked over me.
I'm sorry.
I know, and that's why I wanted to draw attention to it. But yeah, you guys are both correct. Good job. Question...
Curtis, I see you crossing off that pun off of your notepad there. Good job.
That's right.
You wrote them all down.
I mean, that's actually on the 6th page of the second aria, but we didn't get to that, so I just wanted to make sure that my genius was known.
Okay, good.
6-page aria. All right, so the last question is, where, according to legends, does Kantonian Ninetales store its mystical power? So if you wanted the power of a Ninetales, you simply
cut off its ears.
Yeah, cut off its ears. Okay, all of the answers are in. The question again was, of course, where, according to legends, does Kantonian Ninetales store its mystical powers? Corbin responded with, it's in its 9 tails. Duh. The sass is not appreciated, Corbin. So,
wow, Corbin, way to be professional in the workplace.
Well, I'm just making a joke. Sorry.
It was a bad joke, and I do not appreciate it. It wasn't a good joke, like one of Mr. Curtis's many extremely good puns.
Thank you.
Jesus.
And speaking of Mr. Curtis, he responded with, all 9 tails of Ninetales store all that juicy mystical magic power. So yeah, you guys are both correct. It's in the tails. Specifically, each one seems to hold a different power, a different mystical power. Like, I don't know, the ability to, fish really good. I don't know.
Heal sunburns.
Heal sunburns. Yeah, that's a good one. It's like aloe in Pokemon form. All right, so that does it for today's quiz. You guys actually both got it 100%. So
let's go.
So
yeah.
I think that really proves that having, a student give an essay on the Pokemon that we're talking about today is very good. It's an important part of the learning process. So definitely going to continue doing that in the future. Speaking of the future, do either of you guys know what Pokemon we're learning about next time? I did say it earlier in the class.
Yeah, because earlier when you were talking, I actually started doing a little bit of prep work, thinking about this Pokemon, taking a few notes on what I know about it, and I can't wait to present my information on Psyduck next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I can't wait. Psyduck is such a...
Well, if you do give a presentation on Psyduck, you will be getting a 0, and they'll be seriously taking your grade, because the Pokemon that we're learning about next week and the Pokemon that your essay is going to be on, Corbin, is Jigglypuff.
Oh, well, shit. Now I got to redo all that work. Okay,
well, hopefully you haven't done too much.
Cool. That's great. Cool.
Well, I mean, just listen next time and you won't make that same mistake. All right. So that does it for today's lesson. Of course, if you have questions, you can contact me via Gengar mail. At wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gengar mail, that's fine. You can contact me on Twitter, which is, as everybody knows, is the flying Pokemon themed social network site, at wwopokemon there as well. Again, if you love this lesson, feel free to go on to Flapple Podcast, formerly known as Stable iTunes, and give us a rating there. It will help us reach more students and expand the world's knowledge of Pokemon, which is my goal. But
who's my goal?
Does it for my goal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really, you need to clean out those ears, Corbin.
Sorry.
Anyways, that does it for today's class. So until next time, class is dismissed. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.